Welcome to Trade with Vance, where we've created a special series for you guys called Wall Street Bets YOLO, where we dig through, we find out what a company is all about, what's happening in the news with them, what's going on in the Wall Street Bets or the Reddit's comments, figure out the due diligence, and then, most of all, we keep our eyes peeled for that YOLO play, that big bad options contract purchase that you see hit the chain and make you go, woo! Stay tuned for this episode because it's all about Alibaba. Ticker symbol BABA. Check out this brand new episode of Wall Street Bets YOLO. Guys, we're gonna hop into it. I'm gonna read to you what Alibaba, the company, is about via courtesy of Yahoo Finance, and it goes like this. Alibaba Group Holding Limited, and keep in mind I said holding limited because that's very important towards the end of the video, okay? Through its subsidiaries provides technology infrastructure and marketing reach to merchants, brands, retailers, and other businesses to engage with their users and customers in the People's Republic of China and internationally. So what that basically means in short is they run a website and they facilitate a bridge so that customers of some sort and businesses of some sort can do business. So if you've ever gone to Alibaba.com, you've probably seen that you can buy things wholesale. So that means, let's say, let's say you want to sell frames, all right, picture frames, and you want to buy a bunch of them all at one time. You can go to Alibaba, find picture frames made from multiple manufacturers, and you can place an order to buy those items wholesale as opposed to going to Target and buying one for one. All right, and they'll give you a better price. Let's talk about what's been happening with him in the news. Okay, so I have two articles for you guys today. The first one is courtesy of Benzinga, and it goes like this. Cathie Wood-led ARK Investment continued to trim the exposure of its ETF to Alibaba Group, ticker symbol BABA. So in the news, if you watch the news like I do, or you go through different articles looking about what's going on with companies, you'll see that there's been a lot of chatter about Cathie Wood selling off her multi-million-dollar stake in Alibaba. And it gets a little bit more interesting as you dig into, well, what else has she been doing? So Wood's firm now holds 20 Alibaba shares between two of her different ETFs that she owns. And this comes after entirely cutting all of her exposure to BABA shares, so keep that in mind. Meanwhile, she has continued her buying spree in some of the primary Alibaba competitors in China. Her ETF, ARK Investment, or actually this one is ARK F, which is ARK Finance, has loaded up on 38,000 shares of Pinduoduo. That's also the ticker symbol PDD, and that was a purchase for around 3.9 million. At the same time, she also bought 127,000, nearly 128,000 shares of JD.com, worth to be about $10 million. So that's crazy when you think about that. Cathie Wood, a billionaire, who I sometimes make fun of when she loses, but that's okay, she doesn't care, she's a billionaire. She is a really smart investor, and she has been crushing it lately. There was a time where she was a bit, off or not in tune with the market, or so it seemed, but in hindsight, she was probably spot on with buying some of the dips that she bought. And now that she's selling off her investment in BABA, I'm a bit curious as to why, especially considering she's buying up some of the competition. Now I want to go ahead and give you guys a rundown of the second article, which comes from Barron's.com. And I'm not going to read it in its entirety because it is a bit lengthy and it's kind of technical, so I'm going to do my best to summarize it, but stick with me real quick. All right, Alibaba stock tumbled in Hong Kong trading approximately 3.5%. As the Chinese internet giant confirmed Friday a large donation into social and economic programs in its home country. So this means, in short, Alibaba donated a large chunk of money to China, the country where it is based. And so you would ask yourself, why? Because that's not something that you commonly see here in the States. right? So the donation of 100 billion yuan, or $15.5 billion, represents more than the third of Alibaba's 45.2 billion cash pile, as reported in their latest quarterly statement from June the 3rd. The donation from Alibaba and its peers comes as the group finds themselves under intense scrutiny from Chinese regulation amid months of crackdowns in the tech sector and beyond. And then one last thing I wanted to share was that Alibaba was hit with a record $2.75 billion fine in April for breaking China's competition rules. And then on top of that, in November, a company that Alibaba owns called Ant, which is a part of the fintech of their business, was billed as the biggest IPO of all time, and it was scrapped by Chinese regulators. So that's really interesting. It sounds like, to some degree, China doesn't really want some of these Chinese companies to, expand into some of these other worldly markets like the US and abroad. Maybe I'm paraphrasing that incorrectly, but that seems to be my take on it. And I just think it's interesting times, and we just have to watch this development and see how the market reacts to it. With that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at the technicals. So the chart, it's pretty straightforward. I won't talk too long about it, but what I will say is this. On the weekly chart, price is trading below the weekly Bollinger Band, which to me, because I use Bollinger Bands that are set to the 1 standard deviation, in case you wanted to know, whenever price trades below that lower band, to me that's a downtrend. And on the weekly chart, that's what we have. Now, if you take a look at the levels that are very important, there are two that really stand out to me. The 178 level and the 158 level. Both are very key. I feel like if price can break above 178 and hold that level, then there's probably a likelihood that price is going to continue and push higher. Now, if price continues to stay below 178, and if it drifts down and eventually makes its way underneath 158, then that's going to be something to really watch, as Alibaba could be under some serious selling pressure at that point. And with that being said, let's go ahead and see what the Wall Street bettors have to say. I was doing some digging and I read through some due diligence, and to be honest, the one thing that stood out was what I'm going to share with you now by one Redditor. He says, and I paraphrase, maybe you've heard of the recent news that China intends to ban their domestic companies from listing as foreign IPOs. Maybe you've heard of their tech crackdown, but maybe you didn't know that Baba isn't actually Baba as you think you know it, that's listed on the New York Stock Exchange. So I said, what does he mean by that? Well, Baba, as it's listed on the New York Stock Exchange, isn't actually the proper company. What it is it's a holding company that's located in the Cayman Islands. And this type of company was created specifically so that Alibaba could skirt Chinese regulations while earning US investment capital. Basically, you're trading Baba not for shares of the company, but for contracts of the company. Something China is likely looking to ban next as they continue their crackdown on the private sector. So I thought that was a really interesting point of view. And if you go and you take a look at the profile on Yahoo Finance or Reuters.com, you'll see it. It says Alibaba Holding Company. And so the question does loom, is this Redditor onto something? Is the Chinese government coming for these types of companies that are skirting its regulations just to get some US dollars? And is China pissed? And if they are pissed, is that why all of these companies that have done it are donating billions upon billions of dollars? I don't know. It's a thought, right? But let me also share one more thing with you guys from the Reddit community. I scrolled through and I saw a couple comments that spoke to me, and these came from the lost comments. So check these out. All right. The first lost comment. Put my entire portfolio in a Baba and Baidu spreads last month. Gonna be 100% loss. Well, bro, that's tough. And first of all, while I'm not a financial advisor, I do know you shouldn't gamble or invest or trade any money that you can't completely afford to lose. So I have some sympathy for you, but bro, that sucks. Second, Baba, 10K loss. Lost all of my savings during 4 years of university. Should I buy more? that's probably a hard pass. All right? Ruin my financial future. This is 99% of my savings and basically everything that me and my family need. I need Baba to go back up to 243 to break even. Now you're in Hopeville, bro. Stay out of Hopeville, fam. Okay? You don't want to live there. That is not a good place to put your whole family's background and livelihood on Baba. I don't know who told you to do that, but you should slap him. That's my advice to you. You should slap the hell out of whoever told you to do that, because that is dumb. All right, and the last one, and I got a kick out of this one. Through all my money that grandma gave me at Baba. Sorry you had such a dumbass grandchild. All right, so thought that was a little funny, and guy, you called it. At least you're taking some accountability for it. I feel bad for these guys, but let it be a reminder, you know, YOLOs, they do sometimes come at a price, all right? They don't work out for everybody. Sometimes they smack through the park and it's a life-changing experience. But for others, it's not that fun. But on to the YOLO play. What type of YOLO hit the options chain for Baba today? All right, now the clip that you guys have all been waiting for. What is the YOLO, bro? Tell me what happened. So today at 7:15 a.m., I saw, and keep in mind, this is the same day that we got the news that Baba donated those billions of dollars to China. Someone bought March 18th 195 puts that expire in 2022. They purchased 4,000 contracts at a price of $3,475 a piece for a price tag total of $13,900,000. So let's just round it up to 14 mil, okay? Somebody put 14 million down on Baba puts today, deep in the money. I'm gonna go ahead and bet that probably wasn't a regular investor, and that's probably a hedge fund of some sort. So to some degree, you wanna say this could be an opportunity to follow the money. I don't know if Baba is going up. I don't know if Baba is going down. I'm just trying to put the news together and bring you guys a picture for you to make some decisions. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video and you come back to watch us again next time. I want to thank you guys for showing up. Please feel free to leave me some information in the comments relative to what you want to hear, what you liked, what you didn't like, anything that you want to see. And I love doing these videos for you guys, so keep showing up, keep liking it, keep sharing it. I really, really appreciate it. And with all that being said, I'm gonna leave you guys with two things. Patience pays, and as always, get more bands.